If you're trying to build a portfolio and you're chasing rate as your number one priority, just go directly to the bank.
I think the perception with rooming houses has come from share houses. So people do think that you're getting a lot of people in there that are, mooching off Centrelink.
Underinsurance is the biggest issue that we see. Building costs, labour costs, replacement rates gone through the roof.
You'll spin your wheels, you'll try and get the cheap money rather than getting the money that's actually going to get you, or getting the funding stack that's actually going to get you the deal. If you actually already have a property inside of a self-managed super fund and you have a loan on that property.
When you are doing the same deal type and you're dealing with the same client type over and over again, your ability to get the options and the strategies to the client in a refined, fast manner.
No longer is a property manager just a rent collector for you.
For heaven's sake, if it's with one of the major banks, please get in touch with me. I actually helped a client that was on 10.74% get their loans down to about the 7.1% mark. That's almost a 4% saving. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Finance This Property That. It's the broker and the accountant session again. Welcome back, Morgan.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having us back again.
Oh no, well, yeah, mate, it's been I've been meaning to get you back, but mate, today we're going to cover a few things.
Let's do it.
Our topic today. Really want to. I'm getting a lot of these questions, so these are the questions I can't answer. Right. So, how do accountants, how do we, like a broker and accountant, actually work together to build wealth for a client? So, in my head, if your broker and your accountant aren't talking, your structure is probably wrong, right?
100%.
So what I want to go through today is why tax advice and loan structuring must align.
Yep.
The mistakes we see when accountants and brokers don't communicate. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, I've got a few real life examples I'm sure that you do.
Yep.
And I think we'll answer this question first as well. Like, when do we loop an accountant?
Yep.
When do we need to loop in? And I can tell you when I do it, and you can tell me if that's right or wrong, or even vice versa.
Yeah.
When does an accountant need to loop in with a broker?
Mate,
Sound good?
Let's do it.
Yeah. But before we get started, it's been a bloody big year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is being recorded in middle of December. So how's your year gone? How are the kids? How's the family?
Great, mate. It is very much blink and you'll miss it all. It's almost 4, almost 2 with the kids. We've got a team of 9 in the business now and everything else. And
That's grown a big...
it's good fun.
Yeah, since we last spoke.
Yeah.
It was only you, I'm pretty sure Andrew, and one other.
Yeah. And that would have been about 12, 18 months ago. And just sort of how things have grown from there. And it's full testament sort of to our clients and referral partners and people like that. Just we're doing something right and we'll keep on going, mate. So thank you.
Well, that's it. It's growth. You need the clients to grow, and it's good. It's good. I love growth.
Yeah.
It makes you really uncomfortable. So as you know, I've been on the phone plenty of times. You go, far out. Can I do this? Is this something we should do? And you're like, just do it.
It's all okay. Keep going.
You'll be right. You'll be right. You'll be right. I can see. So it is really worth having a great accountant like yourself on the side that thinks like a business. But when we're trying to grow wealth, right? Let's just hit this now. Like, before start doing purchasing property, right? When should a client actually loop an accountant in? Like when? What's the ideal time?
At the beginning.
Yeah.
And start with the end in mind. Like some will, I can't remember the stat as to how many investors will only ever hold one property and how many then go on to own multiple properties.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Like it's very, very slim. But start with the end in mind. Because it's okay to hold one property. But it's also okay to kind of have that goal of, we've got clients that'll hold 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different properties and where they fit in their portfolio, and starting with the end in mind and what you're doing there, which is also, again, best time to loop in a broker, best time to loop in a financial planner, best time to look in an estate planning solicitor, everyone else, that team that you should build out from the get-go, especially as you sort of hit your 30s and you start doing some financial adulting.
Yeah.
That's the best time to do it.
Yeah.
You sort of get all those right pieces and get that team behind you. And that's the beauty of doing it, because you can talk to all of them, because you don't want, especially an accountant in one corner and your broker in another corner, and you might have your financial planner in another corner, and none of us know each other exist.
Yeah.
You go, no, I can do this myself, and you kind of go, no, all on the same page.
I can tell you why that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because someone's not having a conversation.
Yeah. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What are we building this portfolio
Who's
for?
part of your team?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Who else are we talking to?
Yeah. Because I can tell you how I do it,
Yep.
and it's very, very easy because I have a conversation. I have a discovery call.
Yeah.
And my niche is building up property portfolios.
Yep.
Right. And I know there's a few people you need to have. One is a really good accountant that
Yep.
understands structure and how to structure property.
Yep.
But if you're self-employed, that adds another layer of complexity, right? So 95% of my clients are self-employed. First question I ask, who's your accountant? Are they friendly? And can I speak to them?
Yeah.
Great.
Because if we're not on the same page.
If they say you can't speak to my accountant, I'm like, I can't do my job effectively.
And same thing for us. If we can't talk to the broker or if we're not having that conversation to the broker, because we speak the same language.
Yep.
You also being self-employed, you can dabble in a little bit of accountanese as well. I can dabble in a little bit of brokerese as well.
Accountanese, that's a good one.
And we can talk to each other about that because we're on the same page. Like we can get dangerous enough to sort of drift into each other's areas and then roll on back to the client and go, hey, talk to your broker about it, or let me talk to your broker and we can have that conversation together. We can even loop you in on the call so that you can be there for it as we're talking through it.
Yeah. And I say, look, every time we email or talk, like if we email an accountant, you're being CC'd in on it because ultimately it's going to come back to you to
You're
say
signing
yes
the
or no
contract,
anyway.
you're signing,
Yeah, we want pure visibility. The other, obviously you got an accountant, you got to get a good broker.
Yep.
Solicitor. That's probably not the be all and end all, but a good financial planner
100%.
because that's the long term.
Yep.
The long term, we're all trying to think, if your broker's just, broker or accountant's just looking at the next deal, they're not planning. You can't bloody plan that.
And
It's
that's
not planning.
And we've seen it before for clients, mutual clients of ours, where they're looking at that next step and they might have already signed a contract for land. And then we find out after the fact that they've done it. And you go, mate, you didn't decide to talk to Dion about this or you didn't talk to us. Like you've signed the contract and it's in your name. Why didn't you talk to us?
Yeah.
Or they've already done all that and they've then come to us.
Yeah.
And you're going, mate, like if that was a 5-minute phone call, that if you had just spoken to anyone.
Yeah, I think a lot of my content coming out is around being organised.
Yeah.
And having the team and who you're there. Because I actually do, when I onboard new clients, I have an onboarding engagement, and as part of that onboarding and engagement, they get access to my network.
Yeah.
And my network, I don't charge, I don't get any kickbacks.
No.
My referral partners don't get any kickbacks from me. It's purely independent, unbiased advice.
Yeah.
And
that's
we
the
all
beauty
stay
of
in
it.
our lane.
Yeah. Yeah. All stay in our lane.
Yeah.
We can all question each other. Hey, what's the strategy with this? What's going on with there? We can challenge each other a little bit around it. And that's the beauty of that approach. Like, and again, this isn't to knock any of those approaches that do that one-stop shop, but you do kind of get caught in that echo chamber of everyone's going, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, people.
Yeah.
Far out.
But who's challenging the sort of assumptions around it? And I think if everyone's independent, you do get those challenges around the thinking. And I think that's really important for investors. And I think that's really important for anyone really to kind of go, can we do that a better way? Or what happens if we do this? And especially when you get into more complex scenarios, someone needs to be asking that question.
Yeah. I mean, and that leads on really quick. Like, I mean, surely if they're not talking, there's going to be some mistakes made, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the mistakes you're seeing right now, like apart from the signing the contract, when accountants and brokers don't actually communicate?
Well, the old classic is finance first, structure later. Where a client signed a contract, they've gone for finance, tick, 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 tick. Oh, hey, we've just bought this. And you go, Dion, if you had called us before you even made an offer, we could have made a few tweaks to where you're going. And again, where we sometimes talk to clients is they've made that great next move. But what happens for move 3, 4, 5, 6?
It balls up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I it's funny. Yesterday I did a piece of content on, most brokers or banks will, you might be able to get 1 or 2 properties, but that's where you're stuck.
Yeah.
Because you haven't planned it out. You haven't got the right people. You haven't, and that's really huge. And right now, it's not harder. It's pretty easy to lend money if you've got the structures right and you're speaking to the right people.
And I'll put my hand up and say I did that.
Yeah.
Like in terms of our portfolio and what we've done is we hamstrung ourselves because I tried to get too clever with it in the beginning. And it really should have just been, this is our plan. Where are we going? What are we doing? Rather than hamstringing ourselves for a few years.
Yeah.
And I can talk to clients about that and go, let's not get too cute too fast. what kind of properties are we going for? How are we adding this into the mix? And especially with trust lending, that's something that we're hearing a lot of from clients, and I'm sure you are
big,
too.
It's the big topic at the moment. Yeah, we'll get into that in a sec. Yeah,
but it's, to a certain extent, it's a little bit sexy, exciting. Oh, what's this trust structure that we can put in place? And there are those people that talk about, mate, it's the key to unlimited borrowing capacity, and you got to pull people back into the real world and go, mate, if that was a secret sauce, between the two of us, we would have bought half of Australia by now.
Yeah,
like is that easy?
Yeah,
like it's so, but around setting those up properly as well. Because you can jump online, you can set up a trust for $89 or $99, I think. If you Google it, and you can DIY it, and I'll guarantee you, and this is no knock against anyone who does it themselves, I'll guarantee you there's a few tips and tricks that you've otherwise missed or done, or the deed's very basic or things like that hasn't actually really moved you forward, because that could hamstring you for property purchase number 3 or 4.
Well, I know that when I switched over to you guys, you looked at my trust structure.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is it this way? Why? I'm like, I don't know, that's what the accountant told me to do. And I can, I think we've had a conversation around, when you're buying in a trust, it's got to be at the right time.
Yeah.
In your journey.
Yep.
And I think, especially if you're a business owner, it wasn't the right time then, but now it's like, it's been a year and we bought, we already had, and luckily we already had the trust set up. You'd already fixed it to make sure there's no issues. And I'm like, yeah, righto, let's go.
Yeah.
But the amount of people I send to you even going, hey, they need advice on a trust structure. I can't give them the advice, but we have to do it because I need them to get the information to see if it's the right thing for them.
Yeah.
It's not my deal, not my area of expertise. But there's too many spruikers out there.
Yeah. And there's a lot that'll go, we can do the works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to someone independent around it, because again, there is that sort of that FOMO is bigger than ever in the property space. So there is that I wouldn't say there's necessarily predatory people around. Everyone's should have their best interests in mind, but it's sort of, again, you have that, sure, we can get you structured up in a trust, buy your property tomorrow, and away we go, without realising that we've got a negatively geared property sitting in a trust that's going $40,000 backwards every year.
Yeah.
That's getting paid in after-tax dollars from Dion's salary that he's earning at wherever. And you're going, mate, this is totally the wrong way to structure this up.
Yeah.
Sometimes simplest is best.
Yeah. And then they go do the next piece of lending, and then they're coming to you for the letter saying, hey, this is meeting its requirements and objectives, and you can't sign that.
No. And especially,
it's putting another business at risk, and unless it's actually doing what it says it's doing.
Yeah. Cool.
Great. But we know that in the first 12 months, it's not doing that.
No.
You can't go buy, and I'll say this out loud, I do a lot of trust lending, but you can't go and buy a property on, let's say, July 1, and then come back to me. Well, there's actually been a couple of people that have, and we set it up in such a way because the LVR wasn't a lot. And then go, I want to buy another property in 2 months' time. It's washing its face.
Yeah.
I can tell you your expenses in the first 3 months aren't washing its face. You may think it is, but you're actually behind. It takes a good 12 months and after 12 months to start washing its face. So go slow to go fast, guys. Like, it's not that hard. Property's not going anywhere.
No. And having that strategy in place around your next few steps.
Yeah.
Because if it's a buy and hold forever, or you can do like an immediate value add to a property and you know that it will cash flow, or, again, granny flats, that discussion around granny flats is a big one at the moment around, chucking one at the back and, you double your cash flow and everything else. Okay, well, cool. Maybe that is a strategy around it, and maybe a trust can work well in that perspective, or, commercial property, because that will typically be positively geared from the get-go. So just around where those things fit in your structure. Yeah. Because again, if it's heavily negatively geared and you are talking to a mum and dad investor and it's their first property, you would typically say, it's better off in your name, guys.
Yeah, correct. And you don't need to rush into a trust structure.
No.
That's where people are just too many mixed messages. Going back to the client that we did do 2 trust purchases in very quick succession, but the LVRs on the trusts were done in such a way that, like, if you earn, and I shaded it too in the rental, I said, if you buy for this property and your rent is this, I already know it's going to be positively geared.
Yeah.
And your accountant is going to be okay. And I actually said, hey, like Mr. Accountant, because they were with another, not with you, but I just said, hey, look, this is how we're structuring it. I gave them the strategy and I said, you may need to sign off that this is looking after itself. But knowing, and he goes, yep, great. Yep, I can see the cash buffer here. I can see this. Great, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
But I got that check before we even bought the first property.
Hot tip for brokers.
Yeah.
Do that. Like that is a really great way to go about it. Because again, as accountants, we're caught in a tricky situation when those letters come across our desks. Different lenders have different letters and there's things that our professional bodies will and won't allow us to sign off on.
Yep.
We do have to be entirely factual. You can't, there's no guesswork in it or things like that. So having that checked off beforehand, so you know with the accountant is ready to rock and roll, allows your client to go again quite quickly because you know the accountant's on board.
Yeah.
That's the importance of having that team there.
Yeah. And you're not putting them in a position
No.
like, I'd hate for that to be reversed and they're putting me in a position to approve a deal for the client that we probably shouldn't have approved a deal for. And I'm just happy to walk away.
Yeah.
And it's in the client's best interest. That's all we give a shit about.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day.
If the client's winning, naturally we're all winning.
Yeah. They may not like the outcome.
No.
Like, mate, it's not working. You need
Live
to
to fight
sit
another
tight.
day.
Yep. Figure it out. Show me that it's actually looking after itself.
Yeah. And that's all it takes.
Yeah. Because I've got best interest duties to meet too. Now, in trust lending, we don't have best, because it's not NCCP lending.
Yeah.
But I treat every client, regardless of whether you're borrowing in your personal name or I do the same level of research and compliance.
Yep.
Has to be done because if I go to court, I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Like
You
they told me
go
that.
before the judge, Dion, and you've got to say, I did this and I did
Where are
that.
your notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same notes.
Yeah.
It's just like bang, 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 done. Because that's a big mistake. Like,
Yeah.
But also, you just talked about you bought it in your personal name, it should be in a trust, but then the cost of rejigging that, rescinding a contract, that's about $1,000 to $2,000. Then you got to set the trust structure up.
Yeah. And depending on timeframes and things like stamp duty again is another big, like depending on
Double
where you're
duty,
buying and where, like what state you're purchasing in can be a big issue. Because again, in Queensland, you can't do that nominees piece to it. The structure has to exist, at least at this point in time, has to exist before you go ahead and make the offer, go to contract and everything else. So those important little tidbits around it, clients don't know until they get, they suss it all out, they talk to the right people about it and get it happening because it's a real important piece.
And that's why you have a tax planning session every year, isn't it?
Yeah. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Are we
Yeah.
buying a property this year? Great. Well, we need to make sure our borrowing capacity is looking schmick.
Yeah. But also, have you spoken to the right broker?
Yeah.
Have you got the finance? Do you need a financial planner? Like where does this sit in the grand scheme of things?
100%. And that sort of piece again, I'll just talk to the bank. Cool. Let's talk to a broker first and just shop it around, see what we've got going on. Because, those Dolomite accounts have still done wonders for CBA over the years. And people still, are still wedded to a bank particularly. And you go, well, that bank might not be able to get you to where you want to go for this point in time.
No. I just had this conversation in the car with a client. We're doing a 4.2 million restructure and then all of a sudden the bank upon discharge is like, oh, we can do all these great deals for you. I'm like, yeah, but it's been like, we've been working on this deal for 4 months. Why didn't you speak to him 4 months ago? And I said to him, mate, they can't do the deal because of the way your income's structured.
Yeah.
They won't support that deal. This is the deal. This is the only. He goes, oh yeah, I know that because you and I have had this conversation for the last 4 months. And I was goes, oh, I'm sorry, it's taken 4 months. But I'm like, mate, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll get there when we get there. But, you brought up a really, before we were recording, talking about mistakes that happen when brokers and accountants don't communicate. If a client hasn't lodged their tax returns, we've got to do alt-doc lending.
Yeah.
Now, this is a big bone of contention. Each alt-doc lender has their own version of an accountant's letter.
Yeah.
Which has these nice, some are really good, some are not great.
That's being very polite, not great.
Yeah, they're not great. No, they're shit, actually. But just let's talk through that scenario. When did you get involved in that conversation?
For that one that we were talking about,
Yeah.
the client gave us the letter. We had no idea they were even doing the borrowings. An opportunity had popped up for them and they've gone, cool, I spoke to my broker. Here's the letter that they want you to sign off on. Could you do that for us, the Savo? Well, hang on a minute, mate. Take a few steps back. What's this property doing? Oh, it's our, dream home and we reckon we'll be able to run the business out the back and everything else. You go, okay, cool. That's great. We're going to have a bit of a chat around this because it's not just, have you already gone to contract on it? Yeah. We've got a 14-day finance. You go, woo. Mate, so alarm bells are ringing. I was like, mate, I don't think this is necessarily the right move. Let's have a look at the letter together. And you kind of go, you run through the dot points. You go, okay, cool, we're being factual. And then it came to the last few points and you're going, mate, they're asking us to affirm your earnings and that you can afford this loan. It's a big no-no from our professional bodies. I'll send you because we're chartered accountants.
Yeah.
CPA are the same. All the professional bodies came out and effectively said the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll send you what they send us to tell us what we can sign off on. You send that to your broker. The broker goes, oh, well, I've had this signed off on by plenty of accountants. Well, mate, alarm bells are ringing then.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, we can't sign
They
off
haven't
on
read it.
Yeah. They haven't They haven't read it. They've signed off on it. Let it keep going. Because again, we've got to have the best interests of our client in mind. So again, just around that structure piece and bringing us into the conversation of, mate, we might have to sit this one out, but let's actually get this done properly.
Yeah. So 2 things that I picked up, correct me if I'm wrong, they're self-employed
Yep.
and they haven't had a conversation about running a business out of a house, out of the back of the house, which then also brings up massive insurance implications.
Yeah.
And also then capital gains tax.
Yep.
Like I'm not being an accountant here. I'm just being, this is what I've seen happen in the past.
100%.
And to me, the broker hasn't challenged.
Yeah. It all sounded like, for them, it was a dream come true. And they were, and unfortunately, we've got to be the sort of sour ones and the party poopers on that front to go, guys, might be the right opportunity for you, but it's totally at the wrong time.
And the other alarm bell is, hang on, if you're running your business out of it and you're putting it in your personal name, why?
Yeah. So there's a lot there, especially for them that, it ticked a few boxes. But I said, guys, we were talking just only a few months ago about buying a dedicated commercial property to have your business in. Oh, well, we don't need that anymore because we've got this. And and again, alarm bells, guys, we've got CGT to factor into this. We've got insurances as well. And you can start peeling back the onion and going, well, guys, this is what we've got going on. Maybe it's not the right idea. On top of the fact that we've got this letter that we can't sign off on, guys.
Doesn't add. 1 + 1's not equaling 2.
Yeah, and we've just got to go, might be wise to can it.
Yeah.
And it was a really great conversation. Client took it all on board.
Yeah.
They were able to say, cool, well, let's get our ducks in a row for next year so we can actually do it. So they've canned the contract.
Oh,
so
thank goodness.
So it was just everything around that they realised. They go, cool, we need to get involved on this. We need to have a chat with the broker. We need to talk to you. We need to really get the team together to talk about our next steps.
I mean, like there's so many different strategies we could have used there as well. Like thinking about, if they want to buy a commercial property, I don't know anything about these clients, but buying an SMSF. If that's a viable option, it's the only time you can bloody use the property for your own gain.
Yep.
And we already know that there's rental coming in because it's your business.
Yeah.
Therefore, we don't need to sign off on accountants' letters.
There's super contributions already going in.
Correct.
The property's going to wipe its face from the get-go. So there's a lot there for the client that just didn't stack up. Because
Strategically, it's a better option.
Yeah.
Because then if they stop, let's flip that to an investment. We already know what the rent's going to be. They would have paid that debt down. Mate, they'd be in such a better position, and you're separating the business from the personal.
Yep. So again, there's a lot to that of why you should get your accountant and your brokers. This is no fault of the brokers either. And it's no fault to the client. They got very emotionally sort of invested in on the property. And you can understand why it ticked a lot of boxes for them. But just having that chat beforehand, talking to your broker, talking to your accountant, where are we going? What are we doing? This is their PPR. They're going to run their business out of it. How does that work? Is that right, wrong, indifferent? How should we do all this? Having that conversation and then go, cool, well, if that's our PPR, what does that then look like for our next step?
Yep.
Is there a next step?
You could structure it so, And still, it's, again, no one knows till you've been told.
No.
And no one knows. Like, I didn't know all this till I was in my industry that I'm in. And now this is why I do the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, here's some, this is shit that people get wrong.
Yeah.
Or that have been happening in the past. And the best way to learn is from other people's mistakes.
Exactly.
And also our own mistakes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, mate, we've both made them. Mate, look, I guess this then, that's a great reason why your tax advice and your loan structuring They've got to align.
Yeah. At the same time,
Yeah.
talk to your broker, talk to your accountant, have them be on the same page. If not, get them on the same page.
Yeah.
You don't want them in separate corners by any means. You
Yeah.
want them talking to each other
Yeah.
so that you're getting two experts in their own respective fields giving their own opinion
Yeah.
on your plan.
Yep.
Can it be done? How can it be done? Oh, and especially with, mate, the breadth of knowledge you have around lending. All right, well, this lender can do that. This lender can do this. And if we do that for the first step and the second step looks like this, and we go, okay, cool. Well, we could actually structure that up in this way to be able to do. That's our first step. That's our second step structure-wise. So in a few years' time, we can then go for maybe the third or fourth purchase.
Yep.
You go, cool, tick, tick, tick.
But not balls up
Yeah.
the security, because when they go out and get a valuation on it and they find that you're running a business, then they're like, this might not fall into the residential securities.
Yeah. So just
Yeah, lots of
working
things,
smarter around that and that plan and getting the right people involved at the beginning. Like, even if it's just, again, 15-minute discovery call for any new clients for us, happy to point them in the right direction. We've had plenty in the last few years where someone calls and goes, and it's one of our more popular sort of blog posts and things when you do Google buying a property in a trust and everything else, because we've spoken to so many clients about it, that we're talking most people out of setting up a trust.
Yeah.
It's easier to do it in your own name, mate, because you might not even, and especially for a first property, you might not even like property investing. You might get into this and go, I hate managing tenants. I don't like property managers. I don't like, the pressure of having a loan over my head and everything else that comes along with it. I'm actually out. I don't like this at all. Meanwhile, we've set up this $3,000, $5,000 structure for you, and to unwind that is so much more harder than just selling it in your own individual name.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Lots more rules.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. So that, question around where you want to go, what you want to do, what do your next few steps look like once this is done, and how we go about doing it, and then having the right people in place to be able to do it, that's the key.
Yeah. No, man, that's huge.
Yeah.
Another thought that I just had, they were doing low doc or old doc. If the financials were ready, because their financials weren't ready and they haven't started or in that process, would they have got a better outcome?
Well,
Or
the 2020
potentially?
Yeah, potentially. In this situation, the 2025s were done. And it's a very fast-growing business.
Yeah.
So their September quarter was looking quite nice.
Yeah, got it.
So it's a very fast-growing business, good profits behind it as well, and everything else. But again, that sort of alt doc piece.
Yeah.
And again, emotionally invested. And that's why they really wanted to push it.
Yeah. Go slow to go fast, eh?
Yeah.
Like just
very deliberate, very calculated. I know this is the accountant in me coming out, but very slow, very deliberate, very calculated. Because in 12 months' time, let's go again.
Yeah. But it's not about the 12 months.
Yeah.
It's about the 20, 30 years that you want to be able to grow your business, because that's where really the money's coming from.
Yeah.
Grow your business, grow your portfolio safely, steadily, and you can get aggressive at points. But mate, just don't have all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. And you want to diversify it out and everything else, and especially, where the property market sits and everything. It's, again, what's the purpose of this property? Is it the old classic, I'll buy this one property, it'll grow in value, I'll have my PPR there, I'll eventually sell that property once I have the equity in it to pay down my PPR. Cool.
Mate,
If that's the strategy, go for it, mate. Like if that's your thing
rock
and
and
you want to be
roll.
debt-free, awesome. Like
Rock and roll.
yeah,
Let's go.
Let's do it. If it's to aggressively grow a portfolio of a dozen properties and whatever else, and you want to, have your own business and how you go about doing all that, cool, mate. Let's talk about that and how we can help you, because those conversations are very, very different.
They're two different. Yeah. No, man, that's been huge.
Awesome, mate.
Like, it's all about collaboration, isn't it?
That's the key. Just getting the right team behind you
Early.
early before you make a move.
Yeah.
I think is really, really good.
And I think I've sent a lot of clients to you as well with, more recently, Sean and Nicole come through to you, and we they were like, oh, we want to buy it in a trust and blah, blah, blah. And like, nah, don't buy it in a trust. Doesn't actually make any sense. And they're like, Morgan said don't buy it in a trust. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
That's what you go to him for. I can say buy it in a trust, but I know your borrowing capacity is going to be less in a trust than it is here. You want to purchase fee. It doesn't work in a trust, guys.
No.
But it'll give you tax benefits, this. And I go, that's it. You got to stop.
Yeah. Take a pause,
2
guys.
years.
Yeah. Take
You've
a pause.
gone hard,
Yeah.
like so quick. So
And that helps them to get them to where they want to be.
Yeah.
It was a 15-minute phone call on our part.
Yeah.
And we're more than welcome, like, to just point clients in the right direction off the back of that. Great chat, because we get to find out a bit more of where they want to go, what they want to do, what's the purpose behind this. And sometimes the right answer is, we'll just take a pause.
Yep. That's it. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You don't need to go hard all the time.
Yep. Exactly. All right. So the information on this podcast, just so we're all clear, is very general in nature, doesn't take into consideration your personal circumstances. If you want more information about your accounting and your tax planning and your strategy over a long period of time, especially if you're, not even if you're self-employed, even if you're PAYG and you want to grow a property portfolio, you still need someone like Morgan behind you. Have a chat to Morgan. If you want finance advice in relation to mortgages and debt structure and debt strategy, me, Dion, at Dion Finance Specialist on Instagram, Dion Fernandez on LinkedIn. Morgan, how do people get a hold of you?
Morgan Patrick Wilson on Instagram. And then otherwise just going through our website just to book that discovery call. So it's www.creditte.com.au. Creditte's got a bit of a funky spelling.
Yes.
CREDITTE.com.au. You'll be able to book in a discovery call through there. You'll get access to the team. Happy to point you in the right direction, even if you're just thinking of doing something.
Yeah.
Have a chat to us.
Awesome. Mate, thanks for coming along again. So this is 2. Stay tuned, guys, because we're about to hit a very quick episode. We've got Morgan in again soon to talk about how to structure your property portfolio for tax and lending.
Look out.
See you on the next.